Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? First, let me give a shout out to John Denon of, boxingnewsonline.net. Okay, he sat down exclusively with Anthony Joshua. I'm going to read a little bit from this article. I will leave the article in the description box. You can click on it and read it yourself. Come to your own surmise. I'm just going to give my opinion really quick about something Anthony Joshua had to say, okay? But the article is titled, Anthony Joshua on Tyson Fury. This would be the worst era in history if we hide from each other, okay? Anthony Joshua, he goes on to say, people want me to fight Tyson Fury next, Joshua reflected. But we're in a position where we can, but we don't have to. So while Fury's doing what he's doing, I'm still going to progress. So when that time comes, I'll be ready. I'm not going to sit down and wait for these guys to fight. I've got to keep active as well. He's committed to fight Wladimir Klitschko, but it's a fight I would like. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to keep counting my own journey and wait for us to collide at some stage. It will happen. Come on, it has to. And I say exactly like this. Every era has heavyweights. Every era, the heavyweights have to come together and fight. And this is just our era right now. So we can't hide from each other. This would be the worst era in history if that was the case. You are who you fight. So we'll fight. We'll get it on. Okay, so that's just a little bit from this article. And I agree. If somehow someone, and not just Fury and Joshua, but you can throw Deontay Wilder in the mix. Any of the other top guys that are legit top 10 type of heavyweights, Povetkin, Luis Ortiz right now, Joseph Parker. I mean, the list goes on. Pulev, Parker, whoever you want to throw in there. And I'm still waiting for some of these fights to get made, some of these fights to happen. Now, we know Klitschko and Fury, they fought one time. I just dropped a video today about Klitschko saying they're going to try to take Fury to court because Fury is trying to change some of the things in a already signed contract, so on and so forth about that. So hopefully they iron that out and that fight actually does take place on October 29th. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But a lot of fans right now are, nobody really wants to wait anymore for some of these big fights to get made, man. I understand a lot of you fans like to say, let the fight build and let it marinate and let it gain interest. There's a lot of interest right now for any of these fights to happen. Fury versus Joshua, Joshua versus Wilder, Wilder versus Fury, Povetkin versus Fury. I mean, we want to see all these fights, man. So I agree with Anthony Joshua. I don't know if this will be looked at as the worst era, but you have to put it up there. If none of these guys fight, it'd be a pretty shitty era. If these guys hide from each other and, keep their undefeated records and say, I'm the best, no, I'm the best, no, I'm the best, but they don't want to get in the ring and prove it against each other, it would be a pretty shitty era. But I guess we'll just have to get a little bit of time, man. Fury and Klitschko, I think that'll get ironed out. I hope it does. Wilder right now is sitting out with an injury. The WBC has ordered Povetkin versus Stavern. We'll see if that fight takes place. But even, let's say Joshua and Fury, let's say they were to fight a year and a half from now and either guy, didn't have a title. It will still make for an interesting, good fight, Joshua versus Fury. So both guys being from the UK has, got hot again. So, Joshua and Fury, in my opinion, if I can recall, I think this would be probably the biggest fight as far as two UK fighters. Probably since Lennox Lewis versus Bruno. Maybe I'm mistaken. But from what I can remember, yeah, Lennox Lewis versus Bruno. This would be the biggest fight in the UK between two UK heavyweights. So I agree with Anthony Joshua on this, man. This would be horrible if these two guys didn't fight. And like I'm saying, titles don't even have to be on the line. I think this fight should happen within the next 2 years, certainly. Joshua versus Fury, whether there's titles involved or not. Now if Fury still has that WBA, WBO, and Joshua has the IBF, then of course that'll make a much bigger fight. But these two guys, both top 10 fighters, belts or not, both from the UK, this fight has to happen. I'm just getting this little bit of news out there to you boxing fans, man. Just giving my opinion on what Anthony Joshua have to say, and I agree with him. Also, stylistically, this would be a great fight. Fury, big guy, 6'9", 200 and 50, 60 pounds. Then you have Anthony Joshua, 6'6", well over 240 pounds. Joshua, the power puncher, the guy who likes to come forward. Fury, the back foot fighter. It'd be a great fight just because of the styles too, man. And a lot of fans right now will favor Joshua because although Fury can fight off his back foot, you're going to need something to keep Anthony Joshua off of you. Some fans don't believe in AJ's chin. They think it's shaky. A lot of fans were telling me that, what Dillian White was able to do to Anthony Joshua, they believe once he gets in there with a guy with greater power that they can probably knock him out. So that's yet to be seen. We have to see it. But stylistically, this would be a great fight too, Fury versus Joshua. How would he be able to cut the ring off on Fury? Would he be able to trap him, get him against the ropes the way that, let's say, Chisora was able to do? Could he lure him into letting his hands go the way Cunningham was able to? I thought he let his hands go against Cunningham because he was just a bigger guy. He mentally just looked at Cunningham like a cruiserweight, so he really didn't respect him. But against Joshua, just like Klitschko, he's going to show some type of respect. And him fighting on his back foot, staying away, that's him showing you respect. If Fury tries to walk you down, to me, he doesn't really respect you in the ring. His thing is he wants to counter. And he may get in a situation with Joshua where he may think he's countering Joshua, but like Joshua was able to do, he'll counter you. But the way he counter you is, he'll move his head a little bit, not really huge movements, with his head or, stepping out of the way, but he'll kind of just parry with shots and come back with punches. That's what he was doing to Brazil. Brazil would look like he was trying to counter AJ, but then AJ would kind of let him throw first. Although AJ was in front of him being aggressive, he'll let Brazil throw first and then counter that shot with hard punches. So I like to see this fight, and stylistically, it'd be a great fight. I'm out.